On today's episode of the DeRaud-Messinger Show, we're talking about baseball and volleyball facility upgrades for the Texas Longhorns. Texas fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated. And check us out at HornSports.com for all the latest in Texas news. Now, Dylan, yes, I started with baseball and volleyball at a question mark. We'll get to that question mark a little bit later. We're going to get to the exclamation mark first, though. That is baseball. And because, Dylan, there is a new little upgrade, if you will, in left field for the baseball team. It is the YETI Yard. And Dylan, it just looks like the ultimate hangout spot. And baseball already crushed opening weekend numbers. I believe their first game was a record attended number. Attended? Is that a right word? I don't know. Anyway, YETI Yard looks like a fun spot to check out the game. You can see through the left field fence. They have a new fence out there. Just a lot of lounging space and a good time. What
Yeah.
do you think about this little upgrade to Dish Falk Field?
Yeah, I heard it's cool all year round too. Kind of looking that up. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I think it's a great addition. I mean, obviously when I saw they were adding a Yeti Yard, it's like, oh, I got to get to a game, right? Like it's good for marketability, just drawing attention to the sport. So can only think it's a positive for the baseball team, even though they've been incredibly successful, Devon, and already should be garnering attention from the school.
Yep, and it's just nice to see facility upgrades to baseball, Dylan. I know the baseball softball fields kind of have an old timey feel to it, but over the years they have gotten these little minor facelifts, and this has already made a little bit of an impact. Seemingly, I saw a grand slam, Dylan, in the first weekend was hit to the YETI Yard. I think it was in the opening game by Jalen
Mhm.
Flores, and what a better way to open it. Another thing I wanted to talk about is there's now two video screens at baseball. Last season there was one. So that's just a minor note. If you guys are checking out a game, the atmosphere is even better. Dylan, I had to actually work some of the big screens last year on that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was sweating bullets, making sure the right batters were being selected. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was CDC at his town hall. Did note that there's no current plans for a natural field surface at baseball. However, he did say that was TBD, made it sound like it's more of an ongoing conversation. He didn't sound too optimistic, but Dylan, yet again, we were talking about football in another video. It might just be one of those things where he's waiting out A, the Texas football practice facility, then B, the new turf or new
Mm.
natural surface, I should say, at DKR 2026, and then maybe baseball's on the docket. So there's a couple of years left before I think that's really an actual conversation. And Dylan, I want to get to volleyball. What do you
Ooh.
think about the potential new Moody Center miniature version?
Yeah, they're calling it the mini Moody, Devin. I think that's a personally that's a great name. I think it's nice just to kind of give a good atmosphere to the sport. Plus, hey, I mean, I wouldn't mind having some intramural games there, right? Just pack the stadium a little bit, playing at the mini Moody, right? Like stuff like that. I think it's a great addition.
I think it'd be fun. Now, Dylan, I like how you took that stance because I'm ready to fight it. I think a nice mini
Whoa.
Moody would be sure. I think it would probably be good for the volleyball team in terms of. I'm sure the locker rooms would be great. I think that's part of the problem of Greg Gym right now. Gregory's just. It is a very outdated facility, and the locker room situation I don't believe is too awesome for the teams. Of course, I don't really care about away team locker rooms, Dylan. If it were up to me, I'd let the teams change out in the alleyway, back alley. You need a little bit of a home court advantage. But all that being said, I know Rex Sports is technically the real host of Gregory Gym, and they pretty much lease out the game days to athletics. So that is something that is interesting to note. CDC talked about that a little bit. But all that being said, I mention this because Gregory Gym is a historic gym, Dylan. They have now the back-to-back volleyball champs playing there. The atmosphere at Greg is insane. I don't think they should move away from Greg. However, with that being said,
Mm.
I think instead of investing in a Moody Center miniature version, the mini Moody, I think you should put that money into renovating the old Gregory gym. I know the seats could use upgrades and other stuff like a new video board. The video board at the volleyball arena, guys, it's sad. We got two back-to-back champions, Dylan, and they're playing with a little mini iPad showing the highlights with every point. I think you put the money into a jumbotron, you put the money into better seating, and just keep it there. And locker rooms. Sure, I know they have tried with the locker rooms, and there's only so much you can do, but I would elect to keep it in-house there. What do you think?
I was about to say, I wonder why they're deciding not to renovate, right? And to create a new area. Like I wonder what just kind of came up if they can't, you know, renovate Gregory anymore, right? Or if they just have the money, they just want a clean slate in that regard. So it is curious. I like the name personally. So you're looking
Mini
at more
Moody.
logically, and I'm just like, oh, a mini Moody. All right, nice, dude. Like we'll hit up
If
the mini
that's what
Moody.
it takes,
So
we'll change the name of Greg, Dylan.
perfect. Anything, yeah, anything with like the hyphen before it. So yeah, again, I'm curious to see why the school is ultimately going that route. I get what you're saying. Like if you already have something, why not just invest in that rather than just creating a whole new thing? But I like to think that everyone's got a reason for everything, Devin, rather than just F it, we're making a new thing, right? So I would like to think that they kind of turned over every stone in every possibility when it came to it.
Oh, for sure, I'd agree. And they are pretty frugal in terms of spending. They will spend, but they're not going to make a expenditure just for no reason, Dylan, as you're
Yeah,
saying.
what frugal? What are we talking about? Because these
Fru-
renovations on some football facilities don't
oh,
feel very
well,
frugal,
that's what I'm
but
saying. That's when they decide to spend, they break out the pocketbook, but they're not
that's
going to
fair.
spend on just anything. Just my point on Gregory, yet again, some sort of renovation. Like I said, they technically, ironically enough, do not own the building, so that might be part of the difficulty in doing that. But I'm sure
Makes sense.
Rex Sports, who owns the building, is not going to fight you if you try to work to some deal to put money into it and to renovate it. So I don't know. That's just kind of my stance on Gregory Gym. I think a lot of people would probably back me up. I know the seating yet again is not too enticing, Dylan, to say the least, at Gregory. But let's knock
I
those
feel like you're
seats
hurting
out.
your points right now.
Let's knock those seats out and put in some
Come on.
nicer
Yeah.
stuff. And yet again, a jumbotron. And Dylan, you were joking about IM games. Let's have some IM games on that side of the stadium. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Evan's jersey is going up in the rafters. Let me
Oh,
tell you, it's coming.
I'm telling you, after these ideas, it should be the Belmont Ballers. But yet again, two-time volleyball champs. Either way you want to go about this, you can let us know down below in terms of Mini Moody, or Gregory Jim. But either way, I do agree that the volleyball team should have some sort of increased investment because they've earned that and have just been one of the better stories on a campus that has plenty of good sports stories. So one way or the other, they should be winning out here. But Dylan, it's up to the athletic department team to decide which one. But more importantly, yet again, let us know, does volleyball need a new stadium? That's one thing. And baseball, what do you think about YETI Yard and all things baseball? Let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, have a great rest of your day.